Accent Paint, this is Carrie. How can I help you?
Hi, you guys do interior paintings?
We do.
Okay. So I wanted to know if you guys are open to some new residential jobs these next few months.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Who?
Absolutely.
Um, right. I mean, with winter coming up, I'm sure you guys aren't doing too much exteriors, right?
Probably no.
Right.
Yeah, we'd love the interiors. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. Residential interiors.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I was wondering, so who would I speak to as far as like making a decision on that?
Making a decision. Casey, my boss, he's out sick this week,
Oh,
but he'll be
okay.
back in the office on Monday. But I mean, he would do bids for you, and I know we would love the work. So
Sure.
the interior, especially for because of winter and all that. So
Yeah, for
we're
sure.
totally open for it. So
How busy are you
yeah.
guys right now?
Um. So I've been told we're the biggest in the Ogden area.
Hmm.
Um. So we have about so Matt Frackrell is the one that owns the company, and he has one in Logan, here in Ogden, Salt Lake, and then St. George, and in the middle of. So we have about 130 painters. At
Nice.
our own little place, we have about 24.
Gotcha. So you mentioned Matt is the owner, but
Mm-hmm.
is Matt the one I would speak to about this, about me sending him over like some interiors, or Casey, or both?
Casey, because he'll go out and do the bids, um, and then we'll have our estimators do the estimating. You could also talk to Zach, or we have three estimators up in Logan that do a lot of our stuff too. If it's just like a simple interior, like a residential, Casey goes and does them.
Hmm.
And then if it's bigger than that, then generally Zach or Julie or Eric handle that for us.
Gotcha. So is Casey an estimator too?
Yes, he'll
Oh,
come out and estimate too.
okay, gotcha. So yeah, really, like I'm just, and you guys seem to be in a few areas, so I won't just limit you to Ogden, but
Oh, good.
really, like what I was looking for is just a solid painter that can take on some new work this winter. And
Mm-hmm.
really, like just how we do it is we put your name on the map in the area that you guys want and set it up to
Mm-hmm.
where people kind of reach out to you guys for your service, obviously avoiding scammers and bots and stuff. But you'll
Mm-hmm.
start to get new calls from people wanting an estimate or more information from you guys. And the sale is really up to you from there. And we've partnered up
Okay.
with a few painters that are killing it, honestly. And they killed it
Mm-hmm.
the whole summer. They still have some work coming in this season change, but they're also good at
Mm-hmm.
what they do. So that's obviously something that's required as well. That they have work to show for it as well. So how long have you guys been in business for?
Um, he took over Wall to Wall in 2021.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but it's been around. Like he took over. What do you mean he
Yeah.
took over
He
exactly?
took over Wall to Wall, who took over, I
Oh,
can't
gotcha.
remember some other one that bought him out. So Matt just came in and bought him out, and Wall to Wall out. He had a business up in Logan, and then he just wanted to get bigger, so he
Hmm.
just bought out Wall to Wall. I
Gotcha.
can't remember who was there before. My son-in-law worked for the one that was there before, but I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of it is. But because you could remember if you are familiar with that. But yeah, Wall to Wall is the last one, and they were around for I think about 5 years, something like that.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, if you'd like, I mean, I don't want to keep you on the phone any longer. So,
Hmm.
how about we set up a time where we can kind of get Casey on the phone with us, and we can kind of speak to him as far as this goes, just so you don't have to be the middleman in this conversation
Okay.
between Casey and I. When would
Yeah.
he be around in the office? I know you mentioned he's
So
sick, but when would he be back in?
so he'll be back in on Monday. How about around I'd say 11, and I'll just make an actual appointment and have you go ahead and call.
Sure. Yeah.
And
So,
then, what was
uh,
your name?
my name's Alex. What's your name? I never got yours.
Oh, my name's Carrie.
Carrie. Gotcha.
Yeah. You said Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
And
And then,
then,
so if you'd like, and I can, if you want to give me an email Casey's email, if you'd like, and I can send
yeah,
over some kind of like a video presentation of me and the results we've gotten before, just so he gets more of a
yeah,
clear idea before we get on the phone. So he doesn't unexpectedly just hop on the phone with me. He's just kind of like, who am I speaking to here? So,
mhm,
um, yeah, it kind of shows my, my online presence on there, and just a video of me how we got the results, and he can kind of see my face before we speak on the phone, just to give him a clear idea.
okay. So it's Casey, Kasey,
Okay, sorry.
at,
So Casey, Kasey,
at accentpainting.com.
okay, gotcha. Cool. I'll send that over as soon as we hop off the phone,
Okay.
and yeah. So I'll make sure to reach out Monday, and then we can kind of just go from there.
Okay, sounds great.
All
Thank
right. Yeah. Thanks, Carrie. Have a good weekend.
you. You too, bye.
Bye. All right. So that right there was a cold call that I just did. And here's the thing. I've tried the outreach on Facebook through the Facebook groups. I've tried the email outreach. I've tried all this sorts of stuff, right? And it's kind of tough because you're just waiting. You're waiting for a response back. In this case, when you're cold calling a contractor, almost always the decision maker picks up the phone and says, "Hey, this is Mike," right? Which is the owner of the company, the contractor, right? Who has a 3-man crew with him, but he's always usually the one picking up the phone because he thinks customers are calling, right? In this case, it's rare when you get a gatekeeper, but as you can see, it's a big company. It's a big company. So that's honestly, I'm actually really excited because I don't usually speak to gatekeepers that are from companies that are huge, right? But they seem to be open to new work. And as you can see, the gatekeeper, if you're best friends with the gatekeeper, she will set it up for you and almost do half the work for you, speaking to the decision maker. So we're going to see how the follow-up call goes on Monday. But as you can see, it's simple. Cold calling is tough because you may get a bunch of rejection, a bunch of people telling you, screw off, I don't want to talk to you, or I hate salespeople, or whatever. And as you can see, I was just acting normal the whole time. I wasn't speaking like a salesman saying, "Hi, how are you today?" Or, "Are you guys interested in new leads for the business?" Like, I'm not talking like a salesman. I'm talking like a normal person. Her name's Carrie. My name's Alex. We're both people here. So cold calling is one of the fastest ways to get in front of the decision maker. And if you know how to communicate, if you know how to persuade and speak in a way to where you're talking to them like you're just normal. And even if they tell you, "Are you a marketing agency?" "Yeah, I am indeed. And look, here's what we've done for these painters. And I know that right now in the wintertime, you guys slow down. And that's the reason I'm calling, because I know that I can book your calendar even more than it is right now. So you just have to know how to communicate. And it's so simple once you get it down. I used to be so scared of cold calling that I would literally be like this. I'd be like, yeah, so like shaking. And now it's just like second nature. It's because you start getting the hang of it. And you see how I just set up a follow-up call for Monday at 11 in the morning. I had a call this morning that was a follow-up call as well. And the guy told me, he was like, I forgot how the conversation went, but he was like, "You know what, I'm not interested." And then he just hung up. And I was like, he's the one missing out, not me, because I know I can fill his calendar up. But if he's just so close-minded, I don't even want a client like that. And I said, let's move on to the next, because there's so many people you can call up on. Rather than typing and doing so many outreach messages, waiting for a response back, I'm here just doing calls and they pick up. I get the appointment. At the appointment, I close the sale. Boom, it's done. It's that easy. And right now for you, it may not be easy because you don't have the skill to do it. Maybe you already have the skill and it's easy for you. But if you were like me, where I started out just not having the skill and being very nervous, I grew up an introvert. I was very shy at the age of 5. And now I'm cold calling, not giving a damn what they say to me. If they tell me to screw off or whatever, I don't care. I just move on to the next. You learn to take the rejection and just, the rejection is nothing. You know what I mean? So really the reason I wanted to do this video is because I wanted to show that this is actually the second call I did today. The first call, I didn't record it, but he gave me the email and said he's open to new work. No barriers at all. This second call, she said, yeah, we're open to new work. So that's why I'm saying cold calling is probably one of the fastest ways, from my experience, fastest ways to get your first client or your next. And I'm not saying it's a very scalable method, because obviously it's you on the phone constantly, rather than having an automated funnel doing everything for you, right? That is scalable right there, because you could just put ads into it and then, hire a VA and do it all for you if you're doing organic marketing, right? That's pretty scalable. But when you have nothing, when you don't have enough money to pay a VA, even if it's $3 an hour, when you don't want to spend any money on ads or VAs or put any money up front, and you have nothing to lose making a call to your target audience, to your market. Because at the end of the day, what do you have to lose if they tell you no? You still got no clients.